Hi there, John Day here, and I'm going to do a high five video in approximately 5 minutes. I'll do my best on this to explain the concept of SharePoint site collections, why we need them, and how they relate to SharePoint sites. Many users understandably share the confusion over sites and site collections, so I'm hoping this brief insight will help. Now, this explanation applies to both SharePoint Online in Office 365 and SharePoint on-premises. If you ever ask what is a site collection, the most vague explanation you're likely to hear is it's a collection of sites. Now, the annoying thing is it's probably the most accurate and yet least helpful explanation. So let's ignore the collection aspect and just look at sites. Sites in SharePoint allow us to store content, share, collaborate, and present it to others. Sites provide a simple, attractive interface that we can customize to suit our needs. You will always start with a root site, commonly used to represent the organization as a whole, keeping all the users informed with news and centrally shared information. This site will have the cleanest and simplest web address. If you're using SharePoint Online, this is typically your tenancy and then .sharepoint.com. Now, we can create more sites for whatever content and community of people we need. So we can have a site for each department, project, for customers to share information, and so on. Let's say we are creating a site for each department, starting with the finance department. All the sites we create beyond the root site will appear after the word sites or something similar. This word is called the managed path, and I'll be talking about this in a later video. After that sites word, we'll see the name given to the site, such as finance. So later, Finance Manager decides that certain content within the subteams of finance need to go in separate areas, such as their own site. These teams could be like accounts payable, credit control, expenses, etc. Now here's where the problems begin. Content such as files stored in a site take up storage space. Without control, the storage in each site will get bigger, redundant files will be left unchecked, users will duplicate content across sites, and our storage space will become unmanageable. For each site, we would have to manage the users and permissions individually, something I don't recommend. Plus any data fields we want to share across those team sites, such as tax codes, cost center codes, we would have to create repeatedly in each site, leading to a breakdown in data integrity. There are many more complexities I can add here, but for every site you create multiplies the number of sites you have to manage all these intricacies. Your IT team will not have time to manage hundreds of sites at a business level, and fair allocation of storage across departments and other groups will be very difficult if one department has more sites than another. The solution? Site collections. When a new top site is created, it becomes the management point for that top site and any sites you create within it. This becomes a site collection. Your IT administrators will allocate storage space to each collection of sites. We create sites underneath the top site, sharing that storage, centrally managing our groups of users, and any data fields or metadata columns we need across a group of sites only need to be created once. Your top site becomes a central point to manage the site collection. We can also monitor activity, enable features or tools to be used across all the sites in the collection. Either you or your admin team will create the top site of a collection, and your IT team will specify the maximum storage quota, which is measured in gigabytes. Once this is done, you can create sites within the collection that will share the given resources. There are so many other advantages to a site collection. Another one of note is the ability to safely choose what audience of users we can allow to each site collection. Your IT team can share a site collection to different collections of users. For example, our main and departmental sites could be restricted to internal staff users only. But for a project, I may need a customer as an external user to have access to part or all of the site collection. Once they're plugged in, I can specify what areas they need access to. We have only just explored a fraction of the features that defines why we need site collections. We can identify a wide range of security, compliance tools, and features that can be quickly associated to each collection of sites, making it easier for everyone to manage. So, what is a site collection? It's a collection of sites, giving us the ability to manage groups of sites with a central management point rather than each individual site. If you have any comments or requests for future videos on my channel, please contact me on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, or in the comments below, and I'll do my best to respond. Stay safe and have fun.